Dad, I was making a right turn. I signaled. I had both hands on the wheel.
So what?
So then all of a sudden, the back of this car just hits me.
So the guy backed into you while you were making the turn?
Well, no, he wasn't backing up.
Well, what was he doing?
He was getting his prescription in a drugstore.
So there was no one in the car?
No, Dad, there was no one in the car, but I thought it was moving.
So what happened was you were negotiating a right turn and you hit a parked car. Isn't that what happened? Why didn't you just say that to me, dear?
So doesn't anyone care if I'm all right or not?
You know what we're going to do? When Rudy gets her driver's license, you and I are going to go down to the salvage dump. We're going to pick out the worst, smash-looking thing that still runs, and we're going to let her drive. That way, if anybody hits her, it'll be an improvement.
I know how you feel, Dad.
What?
No, you don't.
Hey, I can appreciate the pressures both of you are under. And if you ask me, I think y'all doing a bang-up job.
Well, shut up.
Mom, you don't give us enough credit for understanding you.
When have you understood us? And what have you understood? You who are beyond understanding yourself. I don't understand you. How could you possibly understand me?
See what I mean?
Let me ask you a question, man. Suppose your father and your daughter runs into the back of a car and does not tell you.
Well, Dad, first of all, it's not like she drove around looking for an accident. Now, had it been me, I would try to be understanding and not make a big deal out of it.
But she never told me. She let me go outside to find this, hoping what? That perhaps I would go crazy and say, even though I haven't been in the car, I must direct it.
We're having a hypothetical reality debate on understanding parent.
Let me ask you a question. Suppose your daughter came to you and said, I want to take ice skating lessons, please, and maybe I can go to the Olympics, please. All right. Would you sign the permission slip?
Yeah, I would sign it. What's wrong with that?
Oh, nothing wrong with it, except you become more involved in the child. You and the child and the mother, and we go out and we watch the little wobbly legs, and she skates and she falls, and we go, oh my goodness, I hope she makes it. And then, as we get caught up in the whole thing, one day she says, I don't want to skate anymore.
See, that's the problem with girls. They're so demanding.
What?
Do you recall yourself in Little League?
Yeah, and I loved every minute of it.
Oh, you loved every minute of it. Well, my boy, first of all, your mother and I, we went out and we paid for the whole uniform, bought you spikes, and you had named spikes. Cost us $55. Went out and you practiced. We watched the ball hit you in the face. Watched the ball hit you in the back. A couple of times we watched you say, as the ball went past you, hey, what's the big deal? And finally, the big game. We watched the game. The final score was 75-98. And between the two teams, there was 3 hits, 672 errors, 542 walks. 3 kids were beamed. And we had to wait 2 hours for 1 kid to stop crying. The game was busted open by a grand slam bunt.
So it took a little time. What's the big deal?
Right. No big deal. Now, there's the key. You guys always say things like, no big deal. Some of the greatest lies ever told by your kids. No big deal. I forgot. I'll pay you back later. It was like that when I found it. I swear, Mom, Dad, it was like that when I found it.
Mom, Dad, I just want to say that I'm really sorry.
Please add that to the list. I'm really sorry.
Yes, and the other one that's key. What are you doing home so early?
What's going on?
They're complaining about being parents.
Again.
How are getting in the car to go to work and discovering that your daughter's understanding of the word empty means I'll just park the car over here and Mom will fill it up.
How about leaving the car radio on so that both of us have a heart attack last time? We left the thing up so loud, your mother's hair went straight.
You guys act like you don't do some bad things to us.
Yeah, I would like to know what we ever asked you to do, except hang up your clothes before they take root.
That's it. We're not being paid to look after you all, and there's not a check big enough to take care of you.
Here we go now. Watch my back. Yeah, you're 5 years old, and your parents have taught you that song, Under the Boardwalk. And your parents think you sing that song so beautifully, they want you to sing it every time company comes over.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. How do you tell your parents that you hate singing in front of a group of old, smiling people? And that you hate that song, Under the Boardwalk?
You open your mouth and say it.
No, I tried that, remember? I said, Dad, I don't like singing this song. He said, don't worry, son. Listen, my son sings and he dances too. Go ahead, son, go ahead, boy. Take it away.
That's just because you don't know how cute you were when you
Oh, God, I don't believe it.
Yes,
Come
they
on.
made me sing Easter Parade.
Don't sing Easter Parade.
Dad,
Huh?
how about you have a date with a guy that you really like? Go ahead, tell him, Denise, tell him. He comes to pick you up, and your father insists on meeting him. So what does he do? He takes the guy into the kitchen.
Have a little talk.
Yeah, have a little talk with your 4-foot buck knife. Yeah. You took Jeremy into that kitchen, took 2 apples, put them on top of each other, said that was us, took one of the apples, skinned it, and said that was him. I haven't heard from him since.
And when you went out with him, he didn't put his hands on you, did he?
Dad, I have got the ultimate one. What about all those stories that you tell us?
Oh, yes,
Goodness.
Dad, all those stories we've come to find out are not true.
Who said from who, Grandpa? You gonna believe a man that age?
Dad, how come every single time one of us ever came to you for money, you start talking about this story? You know, when I was 7 years old,
Yeah.
I used to have to wake up at 4:30 every morning.
Without an alarm clock.
Couldn't
afford an alarm
I had to wake up by myself, had to get out and deliver newspapers.
But wait, you always have to brush your teeth first.
Had to brush my teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't have the money for a toothbrush, so I had to get
Some bark, I believe it was.
No, it was sassafras root. So I had no running water, so we had to go out and get a handful of snow.
I believe that it was winter 365 days of the year.
And every day the snow came
up to here.
Now, I went to milk the cow. I had no bucket.
Or I didn't have any shoes either. Did it?
Well, I had to just squirt the milk in the palm of my hand. I had to hop 3 miles through the house.
With no shoes.
Hopped on one foot to keep the other foot warm. And I ended up hopping from house to house.
Only made about, what, 7 cents a month, I believe?
I gave 5 cents to my parents, kept 2 cents to myself, and that's how I bought my first car.
I'm sorry, but you do tell those stories.
Well, at least I can drive.